Hey everyone, I'm Bianca. I have 5 really fun Dollar Tree DIYs to show y'all today, so let's get into the video.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall.
Alright, so for the first DIY, I finally found these little window arches from Dollar Tree. So I figured out something to do with them that's going to be pretty fun. So I'm just going to remove everything, including the little round oval sign where it says welcome to our home. It's just made out of cardboard. So I'm going to remove that.
I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive.
So I'm also going to be using this Dollar Tree chopping mat. I'm going to use the chopping mat to basically create like a little pocket on top of the window arch. So I'm just checking to see about how much I want to cover, and then I'll measure it and tell you exactly how many inches I cut off. So it's about 5 inches. I'm going to cut that off, and I need 2 of them since I have 2 of the arches.
Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine. And I know
So now I'm going to take them outside and spray paint them with my white flat spray paint.
someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Now I'm going to place it right here on the end. I'm going to wrap it toward the front and around to the side, and I'm just going to see, this is about how much I need. So I'm going to mark that real quick with my pencil, and then I'll show y'all about how much that measures out to. It's about 8.5 inches, so I'm going to mark it there and now cut that piece off. To glue this on, I'm going to use some E6000 and my hot glue. So as you can see, this is the last time I can probably use this E6000. I need to buy another one. So what I'm going to do is just add some of that in the center of the little window arch, and then on the sides I will add, or the top and the bottom, I will add the hot glue. So basically the E6000 is for a long lasting hold, and you know, a lot of us use that for crafts, and then the hot glue of course is for right now because it dries really fast. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, why couldn't you just use a poster board or poster, you know, from the Dollar Tree or wherever? And you can do that too. I just thought it'd be fun to use the cutting mat. So I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree burlap, and I'm going to add a trim to each side. So I'm going to cut off a piece, and then we'll add hot glue. So even if you don't want burlap on here, I would still recommend using some type of fabric or ribbon. It's gonna also help hold that cutting mat in place. So I'm gonna add that strip right there with hot glue, and then the rest of it I will add to the back and just fold it and add more hot glue. Now I'm going to add another piece of burlap at the bottom, and this part you can decide how much you want to cover at the bottom. So I'm going to figure about half of it, and then I will cut off 2 strips, one for this one and one for the other little window arch. And yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing and add hot glue. For the bottom piece, we're doing about 10.5 inches. Now I need to add a bottom to this, so I'm just taking another piece of burlap at 6.5 inches and I'm going to hot glue it to the bottom. And I'm sure you can tell by now that I use the crab stick so that way I don't get so much glue on my fingers and I don't burn myself. And then the opposite sides where those other 2 pieces are sticking out, I'm going to add hot glue and just stick that inside of the little pocket. Now I will trim off the edges of this bottom burlap piece that we added earlier, the bottom trim, and then just hot glue the rest of that underneath. Alright, so I just hung them up. Remember, these arches have a little hook on the back of them where you can hang them up with a nail, or you can add command strips like I do. All I did was just add some lavender Dollar Tree florals in there. On to DIY number 2. These are the 3 Dollar Tree items I'm using for the next one. So this one is the burner covers from Dollar Tree. I have a smaller one. They come in a 2-pack. And then this is a gold basket from Dollar Tree. And then I have a black candlestick as well. I'm going to spray paint all 3 of these items. So for the basket, I'm using this brown hammered paint, and you can use whatever colors you want, whatever spray paint you want, but I'm going to use this one for that. And then for the candlestick and burner cover, I'm going to use this one, and it also makes it look galvanized and it's hammered as well. Once they were dry, I brought them in. So now I have a brown basket instead of gold. The burner cover and candlestick, as you can see, they have like a look to it that's not smooth, and that's just basically what hammered means when you buy spray paint. So I'm adding some antique wax with a really good bristled brush. You don't want to use like a smooth type paintbrush. This one works perfect for this because I applied it really fast and easily. Once I do that, I'm just gonna let it dry again, and you can use any type of brown paint you want. So this is just to make it look like it's galvanized, and I like that look of the galvanized items that have that. So the last thing to do for this really simple and easy DIY is just to hot glue these two together. You can use E6000 if you choose to. So you're probably wondering, what is this clear Fiskars mat that I have right here on the bottom underneath this? And I just got it from Amazon, and it's supposed to be like a craft mat for you know, anything that you craft with, hot glue, paint, and it's supposed to come off real easy as far as like once you're done and you wash it. So I'll update y'all maybe within the next few videos, and I will link it in my Amazon store if you want to go ahead and maybe check it out. If not, I will let y'all know how good it works out. So all I did was just add this pretty little vintage like jar from Dollar General that I got last year with some tulips in there. These are my most favorite tulips. They are such a good price as well, and they're also linked in my Amazon store. I actually got this from Aubrey Swan over on Instagram. She's like a huge Instagrammer that's always posting good deals on there. So she recommended them, so I knew they were going to be good. On to DIY number 3. This next one was super fun to do. I could not believe it worked out. So yeah, let's get started with this one. I'm using a canvas art piece from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to remove the whole canvas, so I'm left with the frame. So once I removed everything from that frame, I'm going to bring in 2 shower caddies from Dollar Tree, and I forgot to tell you, I'm gonna make basically like a lantern slash tray. So I'm gonna use the 2 parts at the top of these caddies, and I'll show you in a second. I'm just gonna take some stem cutters, and the easiest way I found it was to grab the piece that you want to remove, just twist back and forth just for a few seconds. I did it too long because I wasn't sure how tough it was gonna be, but once I twisted it back and forth, you can just pop it off. So you can bend it and it pops right off. Once I have those off, as you can see right here, I have one bent the way I want it to be bent. So it's gonna go like this at the corner, and what I'm gonna do is just show you how I do that. So this type of shower caddy from Dollar Tree is really easy to bend. So just play around with it, and I'm going to insert a photo right now so you can see kind of where the inspiration came from. I'm sure you've seen tons and tons of these lanterns, so I thought it'd be really cool to try to create at least somewhat of the way it came out. Not, I mean, it doesn't look exactly like it, but I thought it'd be really fun to try and recreate something like that. So to give this a bottom, I'm going to add these giant crab sticks. I have 7 of them, so all I'm doing is just cutting one side of it and then hot gluing it to the bottom. Now that I have the whole bottom part covered, I'm going to use my hot glue and some heavy duty clamps. They actually just started selling some from what I saw in my local Dollar Trees, heavy duty clamps, but these are from Home Depot. They were $1 each, and I've been having them for a while. So I'm just setting it up like this to show you how it's going to look. So what I'm going to do is just let you see how I put this together. So I'm just going to add hot glue on the corners, add one side of this top shower caddy, and then clamp it in place. Now that I have both of those pieces glued on here, as you can see, I am going to use some more burlap for this DIY. I have clamps on one side still, and the other one I removed them because I'm going to go ahead and add this. So you'll see me cut a piece off right here and add it to the caddy that's connected to the frame just for a better hold. So I added the burlap to just those two sides for right now. Now what I'm going to do is take some yarn, or you can use twine, ribbon, whatever you like, just to secure the top. So I'm going to wrap this around here multiple times, and then I will remove those clamps and add the burlap to those corners. So you could leave it just like this, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is take some Dollar Tree beads and hot glue it along the top part of this lantern, and then we'll go outside and spray paint it with that white matte spray paint.
Been traveling alone, but now there's you. My whole world has changed.
On to the next DIY. I'm using an old Dollar Tree frame, so you can just pick up any one that you want. Now I'm going to use this garden fence from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the top area with my stem cutter. So I'll show you what part I'm going to cut. I was going to use my scissors, but I didn't really want to mess them up. So it was just easier to use the stem cutters. And then I'm going to show you how I was going to glue it on here at first and decided not to because it wasn't staying. It didn't want to stick with my hot glue. So I found another solution. So at first I was going to hot glue it to the sides of the frame, but I tried it a few times and it just would not stick. So I decided to turn it around and hot glue it in the kind of inside the little indentation of the frame, and you'll see that in a second, and it was able to stay. So now that I have both of those on each side, I'm going to take more of those giant craft sticks and I'm going to place them inside of the bottom of the frame to give it another bottom. So this is going to be another tray, just a different look. So once I do that, once I get the right size, I'll use that one as a template and cut all of them out, hot glue them on there, and then I will paint and stain them. So now I got all of those hot glue down there and I took it outside and spray painted it. I'm going to use my hazelnut chalk paint to kind of go over the crab sticks with a little bit of water. At first, I wanted it to be kind of light. It was a little bit too light, so then I did go over it a little more with my antique wax. Now I'm going to take 4 tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree and paint it with the hazelnut chalk paint. And then after this part, then I'll do the antique wax. And then the last thing to do was just to hot glue these to the bottom on the 4 corners. So for this last DIY, it could not be easier. I just wanted to show you a really easy and simple way you could vamp up any basket from Dollar Tree. So this was gold, but I spray painted it black. And then you can take any type of twine or string. Again, I'm just using yarn. I am going to just create a little bottom trim for this, and you can use fabric, like I said, any type of rope, whatever you choose. I just thought it'd be pretty cool to do this yarn. So this yarn that I have is from Walmart, but they do have tons and tons of yarn that I have seen at my Dollar Trees. So I just tied it on one end, and then I'm going to go in and out until I get the look that I want. Once I got it the way I want, this is how it looks. You can go higher or lower, whatever you choose to do. So as you can see, I have a little galvanized piece on the left side. I'm using this Dollar Tree universal tool hooks from there. And what I'm going to do is really simple. You just grab one, and I'm going to bend it with my stem cutters and put it on the other side. So it was that simple, and I'm just going to set it on the side, on the right side. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this last DIY. As you can see, I love the tulips for spring. It's so pretty, and it's super easy to make anything look nicer just by painting it and adding a few touches. So please ignore, I keep wanting to say this, but please ignore the 2 little scratches on my wall in the back. It kind of looks like it's dirty, but I promise you it's not. I still need to do some retouches of paint on my walls, and I just haven't had the time. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video today. I hope you enjoyed them. Let me know which one was your favorite, and I'll see y'all in the next video.